Let's go out to Hampton, Virginia and talk to the great DJ. What's up, DJ?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Oh, good. I thought it was DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. It is not. Thank goodness.
No, it is DJ laryngitis going on right now.
Excellent.
I sound like I'm the one that's been partying, but I have not been.
You have, DJ, and it's okay. It's a safe space on the show. I don't even think the show is probably a safe space, but hey, you're good. You're good. We will pull up a seat for somebody with laryngitis, no problem. What's up?
Thank you. Okay, so my question is, what do I do now? But obviously, you got to have a little bit of background. So long short of it, I met a great man through a mutual friend. He was in the middle of a messy divorce, so I did not pursue anything. And I was there more of a supportive role. We kind of realized we liked each other, and we saw each other about every 2 weeks, given my custody arrangement and in his, during his separation. So we are 3 months after his divorce is final, and this has been almost a year now that we've been talking and been there for each other. And I'm just wondering, I brought up intentions and that I wanted to build something significant with someone, and was wondering if he saw that potential for us. And along with that would be, introducing our children eventually, not for a while still. And just kind of wondering, what do I do now? Just step back and keep the ball in his court and let him figure out what he wants and go from there?
How long have you been divorced?
Let's see, my son's 4.5. So we've been divorced. It's been over 2 years, okay. But we've been separated since my son was almost a month old.
Okay. Is this your first time you've been dating, or is this just the first time you've dated somebody and you're like, I don't like this guy?
First time I tried online dating, went on a few days. It was awful. And I highly don't recommend it. But this is the first guy that, is really just a wonderful man. And, when I say these things, we have the same morals. We grew up the same way with, in a Christian home, and we have similar values with how we want to raise our children. And he's kind, and, chemistry's there too. So it's all the good things. But I know he's going through a lot.
Yeah. Do you feel this, and again, I'm not saying this like talking down. I'm saying this like, just imagine you and I are sitting at a table and we're both cracking up. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, okay, I've been on, gosh, the words I'm using here are really obnoxious. And so just for the casual listener, I'm being obnoxious on purpose. You've been on the market for 2 years and you see this guy and you're like, these guys don't come around, and so I want to lock it down? Or do you feel like a soul connection with somebody after a year? Like what's the rush to not just have a great time for the next year? Laughing and carrying on and going on dates and being goofy and playing pickleball and going to concerts and whatever.
Yeah, there is no rush because I've checked the boxes in my life. I've gotten married. I've had a child. Same with him. We don't want more children. We've talked about these things. And
yet.
There is no rush.
Okay.
Well, I'm 39. I'm done.
Oh, sister.
Yeah,
when you sit in this
I'll
seat.
adopt the dog. I'll adopt it.
It's good.
And he does feel like somewhat of a unicorn just because of, meeting all the marks. I mean, goodness, being able to agree with someone on the way you raise children, that's hard enough as it is.
So I 100% get that. My concern for you is, in your words, a messy divorce. It was ugly for him?
His wife started seeing a neighbor and had their children around this person before he ever knew it was even going on.
Mm-hmm. And then there was a custody fight and a whole mess separating this thing?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to have to be some trauma processing on his side.
For
Because
sure.
the person
Yeah.
he went all in on took his chips that he cashed in on the table and handed them to the neighbor. And
Yeah,
then
quite literally.
fought him over it and bargained with the kids.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Right? So he's been through it, and he's going to have a physiological reaction to it. What I don't want for you is you to be a safe, like, warm place to land for a minute.
Right.
Until he can catch his breath and then be like, all right, now, because you're going to get really hurt in that process.
Oh, yeah.
So I think you are super, super wise to say, hey, I'm being honest. I'm going all in. I'm taking a risk. I've got long-term intentions here, but also he needs to have the space to say, I want to love somebody again, but right now my face is still burned from what just happened.
Right. Right.
And I don't think either one of those two things means anything other than, cool, we're just going to be able to hang out and have fun.
At the end of the day, I still want to be his friend because he's a good person.
Yeah, and he's awesome. And you think he's a smoke show. That's all good. I'm worried about him. If he called my show and said, I just went through a really messy divorce. In the process, I met someone who was awesome. My first words to him would be slow down.
Yeah.
That'd be my first words to him.
Right.
And at the same time, I also know you're like, oh, dude, the unicorn. I love how you said that because that's you being honest. I've got a couple of people who I love who are divorced, or recently divorced, or going through the process, and their experience is very much like your experience. Like,
oh, awful!
I did not know humanity was like this.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. But I don't have any rush into wanting to, like, I need to be in a relationship or I need someone in my life. And I've told him that. I was like, look, I don't need you, but I want you in my life.
That's
different.
That's a perfect thing to say. I love that. And I don't want you to get devastated if he says, I want you in my life, but we're going to do it real, real slow. Or I just want to hold hands with somebody that's not going to stab me in the back. Or I just want to smooch somebody that's not, you know what I mean? Like I want to go to movies and do whatever. That, like, just the slow play in. I don't know. I think that just feels right now.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And I know it's disappointing because it'd be awesome if he was like, I'm free from an evil person, and you, DJ, you, laryngitis and all, will you marry me? And that'd be cool, but that'd be insane.
I don't think I'd say yes. That's too quick.
Yeah, good for you. It'd be insane.
It took me a while to process because I went through a nasty divorce myself from an alcoholic, and still dealing with, him and his issues. But, the limited amount of time we have to see each other. I have my son have primary custody, and he spends one overnight with his dad every other week. So it's made me take things slow, which is great.
That's really great. That's awesome, awesome, awesome. Good for you. Yeah, I think the best thing. I think the best thing.
Or is it okay to still initiate?
Oh, I mean, I think the best thing to do is to be authentic and upfront and honest, and really press him to be upfront and honest too.
Right. Okay.
And I think it's important to call out both of y'all are burn victims at this point.
Yeah, similar hurts.
Yeah,
for sure.
You got similar hurts. And so give each other permission to say, wow, my body is going full trauma mode right now. My body is going full run for the hills right now. And that doesn't mean anything about DJ or about him. That means you got a body that's just saying, hey, we've been down this road before, remember? And it almost got us killed. How about we don't do that?
Yeah.
And the only way towards laughter and peace and fun is to go right through it again. And if this thing works, you're going to have to open your heart and be vulnerable to another guy. And he could scorch you, and vice versa. And so you're going to have to practice and slow play that. It's going to be scary, and it could be awesome.
I think almost everything that's worth it is scary, right?
Always.
Yeah.
And that sounds good on Instagram, and scary things kill you too, right? They destroy everything. So I think that's the great ugh of life is all the good stuff's, man, on the other side of the storm. All the good stuff's on the other side of, and there's bears and tigers on the other side of the storm too, right? It's both and. So I'm going to get a group of people to go with me through this thing. You know what? If I had one piece of wisdom for you and him, it would be to make sure y'all have a couple of people in your life that's not each other that will just hang out, go get nachos and a beer, go hang out, just do whatever. That there is not going to be all of this pressure to make this thing your only friendship. That would be really helpful. And you'll have somebody to talk to. I like him. And he can be like, I think I like her. And your buddies can be like, you're crazy or not, whatever. But I think having some people in your life just to walk with you, just to be your friends, hang out, have fun. But I'll tell you this. I've talked to a lot of people in this situation, and you're about as wise as they come, DJ. Good for you. Thank you for being honest and upfront. And best of luck to you guys. Holler at me anytime if I can help.